going dome for quite some time.
Yeah, we know how well they can play out this spot as well. Watching the circle pull down to the south, they can continue to play the dome side as we have a fight over at Thermal, it seems. Mask, Davis, and Pride kind of funneled into the lower tunnel here. Davis, none of them have armor. This is the most surprising part. Mask has to back away now as Pride is the healthiest one amongst all of them so far. And because the fight is taking place so early on, it's not like Davis has his port to try and get them out. They have to try and stand their ground. Davis has gone down. It's Metro to pick that up. MST are right here to try and punish them. Mask will try and heal up, but Pride will be the next to fall, and he gets the one clip onto 6. But how much longer will he be able to survive? Not long at all. MST take that team fight win, and they have Thermal to themselves now.
The reason that team fight win is so important, besides getting the kill points, is how fast it happened. You see 6 just charges right in there, understands the situation, sees they have no armor, but also they have 2 blue armors on MST side, so they're feeling extremely confident. And they're going to be able to take their time here, depending on where this zone's going to be, as Panas gets that scan for us on the Bloodhound. But you have a couple options. You could continue to loot, because now you know that you're pretty weak and you're going to have to hit these resources. So Thermal's so big that we see a team like Amos's, Solfide just kind of take their time, late rotate, and you're playing the Gibraltar Bloodhound composition, so you're most likely going to be late to the party anyway, as it's not that far. Thermal is not that far of a hike going on over towards Dome, but you know who's stoked about that is Team Superior. They're going to be able to loot and pick whatever building they want.
Yeah, for MST, the rotation path, they can take this rather slowly if they want. Of course, they can move on over towards Tree and play the edge. This is what the composition really does favor towards right now as we join on board with Team Season. You talked about fun filling in for them here, as they do have a squad spotted out inside the middle of the map currently, as it looks like Season want to try and possibly get aggressive off this, or will they continue to just rotate now, hitting that balloon? It looks like with fun pinging on over down towards launch. They just want to make the rotate instead. Team Superior, though, in a fight. Lion is the first one to fall on the other side. Team Superior will go ahead and throw down that scan as Prodigy Aces and Rakinishu jump on over. It looks like the bubble was used for that res, and they hit for the purple as well. And so that squad's going to get away. But Team Superior, they're able to at least bully them out of this position and hold down the dome for themselves.
This is a great job by Team Superior, because eventually what's going to happen is all these teams are going to start to rotate, and there's going to be multiple teams trying to coexist right here as they spot out the player that's going to be down, and that's going to be the finish on the Lion there. But it's very rare to be able to own all this real estate so early, and they're doing a great job right now, especially without any type of long-range weapons, more of like 2Xs, flatlines, etc. As we see what Flashpoint's doing, Kubsky hitting some syringes. They're on the early rotate over towards Sorting Factory, but all this pushing and shoving that's going on, especially coming from Team Superior, is going to filter everybody in over here towards this choke by Sorting Factory.
Yeah, hard funnel to the northern side, which is typically what we see when we have a hard pull of the ring. Flashpoint, they had their eyes set on that office building to the southwest of them, but now they're just going to play inside buildings, inside the banana building here, as they continue to loot up. I mean, they're still sitting on the white armors here, and so this is kind of what happens when you're one of those squads that want to try and rotate quickly as possible. I don't know where their drop was for this game, but you can tell they highly prioritize moving for center zone, and it's really unfortunate they weren't able to get it. On the other side of Sorting, though, it's Seamus who playing inside the circle building for now. Sumo dropping that port. Yeah, I guess they were thinking, hey, we need to get out of here, and then that kind of happened.
Little ring around the rosy inside of their own donut over here. Looks like we know Shroud's inside Sorting too, and everybody really posturing up over here. I wonder if it's because they don't have scans and they feel like this is going to pull over towards Sorting, but we know that this is going more over towards Dome. So the fact that Team Superior is just in front of all of these teams right now, this is going to be so interesting. There's going to be so much fighting happening over here. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Who's the teams kind of in between all of this? And it's going to be crafting out of zone. Z Davis and Tempest putting themselves in a pretty good position as Tempest gets the knock. Z Davis follows that up as well. That's going to be Team Flashpoint going down, and they're going to be able to get their Evo charges too. That's a great job holding this by crafting out of zone, but I really just am curious why everybody is going over towards Factory. This is going to be absolutely insane, Jamer. So you have 2 teams right now with perfect positions on everybody.
Yeah, this is excellent for crafting. As you can see, they were able to pick up the first of the kills, really, for the game for themselves. They should find more and more, as this is one of those harder funnel points where teams end up rotating through. That's going to allow crafting with the position as long as they hold down that platform to pick up more kill points along the way. We understand how important the kill points are as well. Typically, it's almost like a 50-50 split for winners from placement points and kill points, and how they gain their lead now as Breakfast Club are over here inside the banana building now, where Flashpoint were just a moment before. But oh, that's a big pickoff. Fun is able to get the knock onto Prodigy Aces, but that was with the sniper. Don't know exactly what the range was on that one, and if they'll be able to follow that up, or if they will be able to get the res. It looks like we swap over just in time. The bubble res is used by Rakanishu to get Prodigy Aces up. They're even gonna throw down that defensive bombardment. Don't know how much use it will be, considering there's a lot of coverage there, but it looks like it is making some connects, or at least hitting ground at the very least. And that forces the team back. That forces the bubble. And it looks like right now Team Superior are going to have to coexist with this squad now.
That's because it's a very skilled team that was able to put pressure on, and that's what you do is you get the sniper rifle. But we don't have time to talk about that because another team is fighting over here. That's going to be CNE. Inside the caustic gas, doesn't realize what's going on because has a caustic of his own, wasn't sure if it was his gas. Now the portal has to come through. Bubble coming up in 1 second. Tosses it down at the right time, but another player is going to be at the door. Is he going to take that portal? We'll see. Serious Help doesn't even care. He's not watching the portal. He's going inside to heal. He says, emergency, get in here. We don't have time to mess around. We're getting chased big time. And MST, that's the pressure that a player like Six does. But he's also smart enough not to really over pursue and not worry about the third party. He's going to back off, reevaluate, let Pandas go and hit that scan, check the choke, make sure that nothing too crazy is happening. This Shame Assist is getting busy over here towards Sorting Factory. That's a nice 105 from Dank. And a lot of teams, again, still setting up over towards this building. I think this is the third or fourth team we've seen here.
Yeah, and I like what MST is doing. They're right in the outskirts on the northern side. They know that the circle is pulling down to the south. And so they know that the late rotate teams are going to be moving through those chokes at about that time, and that's what they did. Finding out the squad, unfortunately, not really able to capitalize it, because we do have a fight, and you were talking about Rare Excellency, one of those aggressive squads, his Watson, Kuhn, and company, are able to find almost, it looks like a nearly full team wipe. That Fruit Ninja going down along with one more on that squad. MST continuing this push, though, as Panders gets in. Messiah will be taken out. And now MST are sitting with 2 blues, along with a purple on Panders, and a lot of loot to pick up.
This is huge for MST. They're a momentum-based team. Six knows what it takes to get these guys into the final circle, too. So the fact that they're picking up kills after the 50-50 over towards Thermal, now they're finding another team fight on the outskirts here. While everybody's over there in Sorting Factory, just on top of one another like a layer cake, they're over here picking apart teams, getting kills, and then they'll have enough loot and resources to go and deal with these teams a little bit later. And when you play the edge, the key to the edge is if you're the last team to be in and you can just throw that bubble down, all the other teams are going to be fighting in front of you. As you take a look at more fighting here, Shame Assist. Nice nade from Sumo, forces that player in front of him, and that's why he's able to get that spray. Looks like the rest of the squad's following this up, though.
Yeah, they do have to contend with the fact that that squad can just back away through Banana, as the caustic gas will slow them down as well. And so Shame Assist just continue to bully away from this position, hold this down for as long as possible. They do spot out that squad, of course, across the ways, and I'm surprised that Holiday didn't get beamed there as he pokes out for that portal. Hits with the wingman. Goes for the repeat now, on board with the Wally Catchers who are trying to make their way up this hill. Stink has someone in front of him, but is forced to queue back with that Wraith, as great God is taking a lot of damage himself and is cracked from Wally Catchers now with the high ground position. Stink still taking a lot of damage as he tries to rejoin his team. Niles is there. MNK now playing inside the cart and underneath that bridge as the defensive bombardment comes down. Niles is able to get the thirst onto Stink. That's really unfortunate for Wally Catchers not having the Wraith here. So the res was looking highly unlikely, especially with MNK stuck in that position.
I was going to say, you know who likes to play the trailer here is MNK. Every single time the zone pulls over here, or just in general, that's their spot. They like to set up there. There's even zones that end up pulling that way, but I don't think this is going to go over that type that, or going over towards that type of way. But see what Raised by Wolves is doing. They're still on top of Sorting Factory, and they're just dealing with all of the little rats that are running around over here. Eventually, everybody's going to have to rotate. Once they see where this zone is going to pull, everybody inside Sorting Factory is going to have to fight each other. And then teams like Crafting out a zone and all the other teams like Team Superior are going to come through with their long-range weapons and just have a field day.
Yeah, talking about long-range weapons, 6 was that triple take, was able to get a kill and the thirst onto nades there as this fight finally takes place. Shame assist taking on We Know Shroud. Sync starts it off, getting the knock onto Sumo here. It's 2 purple armor still up though as Tank tries to push up now. Does have Holiday now covering that flank on the right-hand side, trying to apply pressure onto this squad. Oh boy, he has forced back himself, and then another barrel going in. It looks like it was a 1-for-1 exchange, but oh boy, turns hitting with the wingy. I love to see it coming back in. Now it's the 2v1 as they try to go for the double peak, and they will finish them off. They did lose out on their caustic throughout all of that as we swap on board with MST, who have made their move now into one of the smokestacks over here on the north side of Sorting Factory. They have a squad above them. They're able to stabilize. Panders has an armor swap as well, but that's an empty blue. And so they try to pull that one out. But here's Smile pushing up as a 2-man. Remember, they lost out on Lion earlier on, as it looks like Sung will be able to get the knock. And it looked like it was the Rez coming out from AM getting punished by Smile. And so that's free KP coming over the way to Smile. Great recovery coming out from them.
It's not going to be easy to get out of there as a 2-man team, though. And what I love about MST is 6 is always putting his team in position to go and get kills here. As we look at what's happening with Rare Excellence, 6 finds another kill with the Mastiff. It's going to be double golds here for Rare Excellence. They're going to feel extremely confident in any type of push. They're holding this choke that we see TSM rock a lot of times as Prodigy Aces is going to finish off Cubsky again. Looks like a couple of reses came out for Team Flashpoint, so they're just feeding off that free KP. But this is a hard dome pull, so all these teams again in Sorting Factory are going to have to make their way here in the next zone 3 or zone number 4.
Rare Excellence able to pick up additional loot as well on board with Zenial's Clarify as they are going for the Crypto Scout, checking their back and making sure, wow, this entire building is absolutely free for them if they want to come in. It is at the absolute limit of that drone, though. Team Superior still holding their position, but we have to remember that they've been coexisting with this squad on the other side. Prodigy Aces, though, getting closer and closer towards that red Evo shield for himself. He's already got 2 kills to his name right now. It's all about dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and finishing this game off strong, but a lot of teams have had a strong game 1 so far. We'll see when Team Superior decide to try and pull the trigger and control this entire compound for themselves. Here comes an EMP on top of them. All it's going to do is force out a few cells on the side of Team Superior.
Rakinishu is such a skilled Gibraltar here that you're going to feel really good in this type of situation. The only problem is, like you said, Jamerson, earlier, defensive bombardment isn't as useful with all these eggshells around. So it's going to be more about his bubble coming through and baiting players coming through. Joey Blackout's scans are going to be huge. Most likely not going to need a portal from Prodigy Aces, so he has to just continue to charge that Evo shield up like you were talking about, get that to red, and just be a force over towards the back end of this map here. They were able to pick up a couple of kills throughout all this. A lot of times when you're stuck in the back here, you're not able to do any type of damage. You're able to just sit back and get kind of bullied, but they have great loot here, and they also have a decent amount of ammo still. That's going to be the key, is they have all the resources still.
MST making their move once again, just playing on the edges. That has been their MO for game number 1 here, especially off that 50-50, slowing down their rotation. Now they do spot out that Wraith going for the Q, and as soon as she comes out, woohoo, raised by Wolves. We put down into the ground as Team Crafting on the other side of that valley, though. So it might be a head-to-head versus MST very shortly here. We'll find out in just a moment. Crafting now peeking outside. They've got a squad behind them as well. Kodagami will get finished off by Z Davis. And that G7 Scout nades coming in, though, right on top of Z Davis, narrowly missing that one out. He does have to be careful, but oh boy, Turns has turned it on. Metro has gone down, and it looks like We Know Shroud want to get involved in this. Metro gets thirsted off here. Now with the 3v2, Panders will fall as well, and so MST, they had a great start, but it looks like they took a little bit too long to rotate here right into the waiting maws of We Know Shroud.
because they backed off to loot that box too, and they were fighting and creating a lot of noise. So all these teams sitting over here in the wings, just waiting for all the rotations to come over here, and they were able to get the res back on a Gibby Neutron. That's going to be huge. That means that Sync had his portal. And they were able to get that one res inside of Sorting Factory, directly in the middle of everything. Speaking of in the middle of everything, Mouse and Key, and also limited on resources here. They're just tossing the last med kit. Big fight over here for bottom 20. Scurry hitting the shots. That's going to be Z Davis going down. Armor swap comes through too. It's going to be a double armor swap. They should be able to get that one, and he does. Great team fighting here, but the third party is perfect by M&K.
Yeah, they didn't see the trades, but they knew that a lot of damage was going across and that this was their moment. If they were going to make the rotate for the next zone, they needed to clear out these squads, and they helped them out here. As M&K will be able to finish this one off very shortly, going in for the swing, taking him out. They'll be able to recover with enough time to start planning, plotting their next rotate. They have to be careful. They do have We Know Shroud in the cave, just the east of them as well. So it's going to be still another hard funnel of teams to the north side of this zone.
This is what I've been waiting for, really. This is when all these teams are going to fight, and only about one or two are going to make it through. Having a Gibraltar is going to be absolutely huge. Having your ultimate right here would be big for We Know Shroud. They're going to have to do something crazy. Maybe it's an Octane jump pad to wherever they're going, but I'm not sure what they're going to exactly play. You see some pings going down over towards a rock. Now M&K's making their move. They know they don't really have time to rotate with the zone. They have to find a spot and start holding teams out.
Yeah, they're making their way on in, dipping down south now to hit the hard west side of this zone, which can work out for them. It looks like they do have rock cover on this ping. Beautiful scouting out by the squad. Smile now down to just Casellas here as he's trying his best to survive. He was able to finish off 6, securing himself top 9 at the very least. But Casellas will go down to Cheesy Potato. There's a defensive bombardment right on top of M&K that has ended just in time. Zanile surviving with about 5 HP, and M&K are going to be able to utilize that spot for a moment to try and heal up. But here comes a Nox Gas Grenade connecting onto all of them. Zanile's instantly goes down as Bronzy coming up clutch with that Nox Gas Grenade will be able to finish him off. M&K going down, and we're seeing again the strength of playing center zone early on.
Bronzy hit him with the Steph Curry finger roll from top of the rock, perfectly placed, just dominating Zanile, taking him down. It was so nice that Zanile slid in there and had a quarter HP, but as soon as they recognized that, you could see the power of this team composition. Having Gibraltar, having Caustic, just the double wombo combo of the ultimates was enough what it was. That's enough damage to go and take down Zanile there. Very nicely played by M&K, getting to that rock, but still, what a finger roll by Bronzy.
Yeah, we are down to the top 7 squads here, and it's all healthy until Pride gets a knock on to need serious help, as Team Superior now have, well, they've got roommates in this building, and you can see Prodigy Aces, he was able to get that red Evo shield, never actually swapped it off with Rakanishu to try and work on another purple, at the very least for the squad. I'd like to see them do that, and I think that might be the consideration, as he did look back at his Gibraltar here, but the zone continuing to pull into Dome this time around, as We Know Shroud using the Octane rotate, getting aggressive. Sync gets the knock onto Blur. There's a second onto Q, and it's his Watson to try and survive, but they lose out on their Caustic throughout all of that. And oh no, it looks like Sync will not be able to hit that Q fast enough. Turns fast on that Octane, but now he needs to continue to get in. Prodigy Aces, though, has been cracked as he backs away into the dome of his Gibraltar here to heal up. Looks like they try to make a play, but Turns ultimately goes down. We are now down to our top 5 squads remaining, all healthy as well.
Nasty, massive shots from Sync, but still wasn't able to survive. Thought he was going to hit the Q in time, but now we see if Team Superior is going to be able to close this one out. They've been in position. They landed Dome uncontested, trying to work this angle for a long time. They've been trapped on this blue, like you were saying. I'm shocked they didn't pass it over and try to get that over. Rakanishu should be there eventually, but we'll see what team composition is going to reign supreme here. There's going to be so much fighting that happens over here. 1 minute until the zone closes, 1.5 minutes until it continues to end. Again, with no Watson, it's easy to chuck grenades in there. That's exactly what Clayton's doing. Doesn't connect as hard as he wants to. That was a good Gibraltar bubble, but Fun doesn't care. He's going to come in there and get the knock. That's on a Prodigy Aces. The spray is there from Penny, but they're worried about getting third party. Pride is in the area too. Joey Blackout's going to be able to get the knock onto Fun. Armor swaps coming in from Kenny too, and it looks like they were able to finish it off, but no third party over here. Surprised that STN gets away with this.
Yeah, with the team on the roof, I'm surprised they didn't push either. We are down to 4 squads. I believe there's one solo rat trying his best to make it. He has hit the top 4 at the very least, so that's more placement points. We'll see if he can hit top 3, but this is the slow zone. Gonna try and bide his time as much as possible, but that zone's gonna touch him before any team is forced to start fighting here. As you can see, Pride, Bronzy, and Mercy only. They've got the rooftop. They've got the Kraber. Pride has been able to connect with these shots time and again. Clearing out that barrel, making sure no one climbs up there. Forcing the fight here on the low ground. Hits for the headshot, taking out the solo rat. That's Cheesy Potato to go down. We're down to our top 3 squads as South State really have one of the stronger positions here. And again, having that Kraber in the hands of Pride is so incredibly strong.
But also they have the composition again with this Wombo combo, so they just need to use it correctly here, as now they realize how they're going to peak. It's going to be the team on the rock that's going to be the most difficult. That team inside is going to play that last minute, hoping that these teams outside fight, and they most likely will, but Pride may open this up with a big Kraber shot, just like he finished off Cheesy Potato. And he's feeling it after that. He's going to go take an angle. Narrowly misses the Crypto over there, but does have the spray. Bubble has to go down. EMP is going to be there too. Phoenix Kit's going to be popped by Pride. Interesting. That's going to take too much time. Now it's going to be a battery coming in from Bronzy too. They're going to let these teams kind of duke it out over towards the bottom. There's the big defensive bombardment coming through. It's going to connect. Multiple players are going to take huge damage from that. Bronzy is going to get the knock too. They still have the caustic gas. They used it to perfection, playing this route to the very, very last second. Meds being popped too. You can see the players inside. Nice collateral damage from Bronzy, but it's really up to Mercy only with the battery being popped.
Yeah, Mercy only dropping in. Took a little bit of damage to the ring. He needs to get in here as he's trying his best to spray. But Team Pickles will take game number 1, biding their time inside